Faith is an adventure that Jesus calls us to. It's about life, and any living thing is a growing thing. Faith is active, it's not passive. It's an adventure. Now at FBC, we exist to help people find and follow Jesus. We want to help you find and follow Jesus. We want to journey with you to help you grow in your faith. It's such a big thing that we can often struggle to know where to start or what to do next. That's why we've identified 3 areas that we think are crucial for us if we want to keep growing and to keep going on this adventure. If you're starting out on this journey, then picking one of these areas to invest in is a great place to start. If you're further down this road, then you'll probably need to ensure that you're working on all 3. The first area is also a great place to start. It's what we call intentional community. Spiritual growth happens best in the context of community. In fact, we believe that you can't grow spiritually unless you're connected relationally. So intentional community is about having a group of people around you with whom you can be open, with whom you can be honest and real. It's the people you can let your guard down with, the people with whom you can be vulnerable. It's the people who can encourage, who can support, challenge and care for you, and for who you can do the same. Who comes to mind for you for this? Who are the people who are there for you? And who are the people that you are there for? Who are the people who know you, who really know you? Who are the people who are in your corner? Now, who are the people who will tell you what you need to hear, even if you don't want to hear it? That's intentional community. You know, it's not about just meeting up with people. It's about being intentional with them to help each other grow in your faith. Now, this isn't a program or a thing we do, but it can be helped by the things that we do. Small groups are a big deal for us at FBC because they create a place where we can connect. They create the opportunity for us to discover this intentional community. But just being in a small group isn't going to do it. Now, like all things, you get out what you put in. If you're in a group, you need to turn up, you need to join in, and you also need to be real. So where are you investing in intentional community? Who are the people who are spurring you on in your faith? And who are you doing this for? Joining an FBC small group or a volunteer team is a great place to start in this area. Now, the next area is personal disciplines. Now, most of us don't like the word discipline, but we do recognise the importance of it. Personal disciplines are those healthy habits that we need to employ as part of the development of our faith. It's things like, reading the Bible for ourselves, praying by ourselves, and other habits like giving or fasting, worship, and so on. If you want to grow in your faith, you have to engage in personal disciplines. Establishing healthy rhythms can help with this. Perhaps that's getting into the habit of finding some time each day or at regular points throughout your week to spend time with God. Now, this can feel a bit strange when you start. For me, I like to have a few moments of silence just to clear my head and allow myself to get away from the things that are competing for my attention. Then I read a few verses from the Bible and I think about them. What's it saying? And what's it saying to me? There are loads of Bible reading resources out there that can help you with this. And after that, I spend a bit of time praying through my day and for the people or the situations that I want to bring before God. I find it helpful to keep a list of the people and the things that I've committed myself to praying for. Whilst you do have to do this for yourself, you don't have to do it by yourself. Being in intentional community can really help you. That's either by learning from others or by finding time to do this with others. And there's also so many tools out there to help. We love things like the YouVersion app or the Bible Project or Lectio 365. And we've also got a bunch of tips and resources on fbcnext.com to help you get started in this area. And the third area is active faith. This is where our faith moves from being inward to outward. It's about activity, applying the things we're discovering about Jesus and actively seek to live our lives in a way that he would if he was in our shoes. A great question to ask yourself is, what does love require of me? Lots of the things that Jesus spoke about points into this direction. Asking and acting on that question is active faith. But it's more than this. It's about stepping out of our comfort zones and allowing ourselves to see God at work in us and through us. God has a plan to rescue and restore the whole world, and that plan includes you. He has a plan to bring hope and meaning to people's lives, and that plan includes you. He could do all of this by himself, but he's chosen to use everyday people like you and me. Volunteering is a great way to get your faith active. Help out in our kids or youth teams, or join a community team to support people in need in our local area. Use your gifts of music or tech to help us deliver Sunday gatherings or other events. When you do this, you put yourself in a place where God can work in you and through you. Using your gifts and talents through volunteering is what we like to call a keystone habit. Lots of the other areas fall into place when we do this. Lead a small group of kids for the first time and see what happens to your prayer life. It creates a dependency on God and also a need for others. By serving in this way, you help yourself engage with personal disciplines and intentional community. Now, of course, there's more out there. There are other ways that you can grow in your faith. But we've seen a general trend among people who are thriving in their faith. All three of these areas are present and prominent in their lives. And similarly, when people stall or struggle in their faith, one or more of these areas tends to be missing. So what's your next step? If you want to thrive in your faith, we really want to help encourage you to lean into these three areas. You can find out more at fbcnext.com or reach out to us. We would love to help you find your next step on this adventure.